Hey guys, it's Maria, and I am here to introduce you to my latest kit, which is called Sweet as Pie. And it's designed to be kind of a generic kit that you could use for either new beginnings or young women in excellence. And it's great and has lots of cute decorative pieces. But my goal with this kit was not to just make another pretty thing you could put together for young women in excellence. It was to give you a kit that you could use to help teach the youth how to plan an event like this. As you all know, there's a big push right now to get the youth to be more involved in the planning process, both in Sunday lessons and also in big events like Girls Camp and Young Women in Excellence. So I created a kit that is designed to kind of help take this gigantic task of making a big event and break it down into manageable chunks that you can sort of walk your youth leaders through, but that they can do the work on. So let me kind of explain to you how that works. First off, it includes a whole bunch of decoration options that are all super youth friendly. I tried to make everything easy to print at home that you can just cut out with scissors and put on a string. There's a bunch of cupcake toppers and water bottle labels and things that are just easy for youth to manage all on their own. The next big thing is I created this idea sheet, which is essentially a way to kind of help if you assign, okay, our new beginnings is going to be Sweet as Pie, youth go, they don't really know how to make it all tie together very well. So this idea sheet is a bunch of ideas for how they can make it more memorable. So things like having their youth leaders wear their aprons to the event, or the new incoming beehives, they get a chef hat as they come in the room. Things like that to help your youth planners brainstorm ideas on how to make it just a little bit more special. So there's that idea sheet as well. The next big thing, and this one I think is pretty critical, is a planning sheet. If you've ever hosted a great big event, it's really hard to take a gigantic task and break it down week by week. So I've helped you with that so that your youth leaders, as they're planning, can kind of see what's coming. Most Laurels don't know that you have to schedule the building in order to plan Young Women in Excellence. Most MyMaids don't realize that you have to put this in the sacrament program 2 weeks in advance, or when to hand out invitations. So this party planning checklist is a way for them to kind of go through all the different steps of this event, and it's catered specifically to a church event. So there's all sorts of information like when to schedule the youth speakers, when to plan your refreshments, what budgets to set and when. There's also an area for brainstorming ideas. So if they want to brainstorm on what kind of decorations they want to make or what kind of food they want to have, there's an area to write all that down. There's also, and this is the most important column, under every checklist thing, there is an assigned to area. So as a Laurel leader, part of the thing you want to teach these girls who are planning is that they're not supposed to do this event all on their own. They're supposed to manage it, which means they should delegate. So that assigned to column is designed so that they can say, okay, beehives, you're going to be in charge of the favors we're going to do that night. So here's your assignment. So Michaela and Leslie, you're in charge of the favors. MyMaids, you're in charge of printing out the programs. This kind of helps them walk through all the different steps you need to go through to plan this event, and then also helps them learn to delegate. It also has a great spot for writing down all the money spent so that you can keep track of how much it costs. Most teenagers aren't terribly great with budgeting, so this gives them sort of a basic kickstart to help them understand what things cost and how much they should spend in each area. So that is included in the kit. The other big thing is it can be really challenging to come up with a program for the night, especially if you're a youth leader. You just don't know what you're doing. So I've created a sample program. It looks like a little recipe card, of course, it's cute. But the idea behind this is there's just blank spaces. So it'll say you need for the get things cooking area of the program, there's a welcome, an opening song, and an opening prayer. And they each have colons. And the idea behind this is so that I can print this out as a leader. I give it to my youth leaders who are planning the event, and I say, look, these are all the parts that you need to fill in. You need to find somebody to be the young women theme deliverer. You need to find somebody to talk about the personal progress program. This just sort of walks them through it so they can jot it down in their planning meetings, jot down who they're going to ask, check mark when they've been asked, and then the night of the event or a couple nights before, they go into the editable PDF and they plug it in with their computer. There's a blank one and this sample one included in the kit so that you can kind of help them understand how to build a good program, which is a really critical skill. There's also, every young women event I've ever been to has some sort of favor. You just can't resist. So I thought I should make one that is Laurel friendly. I don't want something that they have to work a ton on. I don't want something that they have to go to the hardware store and buy wood for and craft. So I made cute little pie boxes, and they're all they are. They're made out of paper, and I hot glued these, but you could tape them. And all they are is a cute little, my Hershey Kisses are running low. I might have been eating these during the process. But I just stuffed them with Hershey Kisses. They're just a cute little party favor, so that as the young women go home, they've got this. Maybe you stick the theme for this year in there on a cute little card, or a favorite quote that your night revolved around. You could stick it in there and have one of these for each of the girls. Again, these are friendly for beehives to make. So I encourage you to encourage your youth leaders to delegate this task and have the beehives make it at one of the mutuals leading up to the activity. There's also invitations that can be printed at Costco or at home, a poster that can be printed at Costco. So you have all kinds of tools. And again, my goal here was not to make something that was just pretty. I really wanted to make something that could help you teach. So I hope you'll take a look. The last big piece that I forgot to mention earlier is that I created some visual aids for your speakers so that your young women could speak about the Personal Progress Program. That's a big part of New Beginnings and Young Women in Excellence. So what I created is this, I call it the Build a Pie visual aid set. And essentially you're going to walk through the 4 parts of the Personal Progress Program, and you're going to build a pie up on the chalkboard, so everybody can see it. So the pie pan talks about the young woman values and has them all laid out. So you stick that on the board. The next young woman gets up and they talk about the value experiences, what those are, how long they take, and then they stick that on top of the pan. Cute, right? And then you talk about value projects, and that goes on top of the board, again with like ticky-tack or double stick tape. And then finally the honor bee. So it kind of walks you through all the parts of the Personal Progress Program, and at the end you have a cute little pie. But again, it's intended to help these young women teach. They don't know how to break down a big topic like personal progress into chunks. So this does it for them, and also gives them something cute to hold up in the middle of the program. So that's pretty much the kit. There's a whole bunch of pieces included, 20 some odd pieces for you to work with, so that hopefully you could buy it, print it out, and hand it to your Laurel presidency and get them started in the planning process. They check in with you, they show you what they've worked on, but it sort of gets them going so that it doesn't seem so overwhelming. So I hope you get a chance to use it. If we missed you for New Beginnings, you might want to slate this for Young Women in Excellence, but it's a great tool to kind of help you teach your girls how to lead, and that's a pretty critical skill. So I think that's it for now, and I'll be back next time with more tips. Thanks, guys.